Hello, everybody. It is another fine episode. Well, I don't know if it's fine yet, but I think it'll be fine. Another episode of Boy Blue and Bigby. I am one of your co-hosts, Boy Blue.
And this is the other co-host, Bigby.
Very good. And today we are talking about some little mini reviews of things we've read recently. Because I think the last couple episodes we've gone on about our favorite heroes and villains and all that, but want to give the people an update. What are Boy Blue and Bigby interested in right now? So that's what we're going to do today.
And take note that a bunch of the stuff that we read is because we either got recommended or we saw the cover that'd be cool, or like me, it just said free on Comixology, so I just started reading it.
And that's a good enough reason to buy
Yeah.
or read anything if it's free. Yeah. So mine are actually all manga. So for you manga lovers out there, you will like mine, hopefully. They're pretty popular. So if you're a manga lover, it's probably gonna be like, oh yeah, I've read that.
Yeah,
Been
they'd
there,
be
read that.
like, oh, where have you been, Kai? What
Yeah,
happened? Give us a
exactly.
program then.
Yeah. But my first pick is 20th Century Boys, the Perfect Edition. I'm volume one. I'm not going to try to pronounce the artist and writer. It's one guy. He's very famous. Urasawa, that's his last name. I don't know how to say his first name. But why am I just now reading 20th Century Boys, you ask? Because it's such a classic? Because these perfect editions are coming out and they have 2 volumes per edition, and I don't want to buy like 20 volumes when I can buy 10 or something. So that is why this came out very recently. I think the next perfect edition comes out like December or something. So I'm intrigued enough to pick it up. So 20th Century Boys. I would say if you are a fan of Stephen King, you would like 20th Century Boys. The plot so far is pretty vague, so I can really only give a vague answer to what is happening. But basically, there are this group of friends as adults in their town in Japan, which I guess I should know where they live, but I don't. Um, there are kind of these mysterious murders happening, and they're not really aware of that. Just more a side thing with the police. But where these murders are taking place, there's left this mysterious symbol, and the main character, the main one of the friends, he recognizes the symbol, but he can't remember when or where it's from. So then it switches between, I think it's like late 90s, 1998, when the present is, and then when they were kids. So they're the same group of friends except as kids.
So
And
it sounds like you're right when it says kind of sounds like Stephen King, because that's how I feel like it sounded a little familiar with the It series, with the
yeah,
It book. It goes like back and forth. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So you kind of, there's a mystery, obviously, what the symbol is, where it's coming from, why are people being murdered, and why is that symbol left. I'm not going to give away where the symbol is from, but you do find out within this first perfect edition. Um, and what else? Oh, and then also kind of in the background, there's this cult, and the cult leader is just known as the friend. So that's kind of creepy. There's all these people would be like, "Oh, my friend told me. The friend told me," and they don't know who the friend is. They just know that he's a guy, and he's created this cult, and yeah. So it's kind of a mystery thriller. Um, Based off of some of the clues, it might even go kind of sci-fi here pretty soon. But like I said, I'm pretty sure Urasawa is known for playing like the long game.
mhm.
So his cards are very close to the chest in this first two volumes. I'm sure it will expand, but for now, I'm kind of just like, it was interesting enough where I'm intrigued. I wouldn't say at this point. I think I'll continue reading based off of the reputation. I've heard it's a masterpiece. I wouldn't say this first perfect edition volume, the first two volumes, I wouldn't say that made me think is a masterpiece, but I will keep trekking forward with this one.
Trekking forward, huh?
Trekking forward.
Trekking forward.
Looking at pictures and reading dialogue bubbles. And it says it's rated for older teens. So there you go.
Wow.
There you go, older teens.
I think it's pretty cool that when they do manga, they do that, like, rated for older teens, or like everybody, and then
I think it's a good idea. I mean, only because just they are different from books in that, you can literally see, like it is like a visual medium. So I'm for it. The other ones I will also be disclosing their ratings, as they might be a little higher than older teens.
I know one of them is definitely higher.
Yeah. But yeah, 20th Century Boys. I enjoyed it. And you might also, if you haven't read it, check out the Perfect Edition.
So is Full Metal Alchemist for older teens? Because I feel like that should be for adult, by the way, the first 3-pack volume.
I want to say it's for older teen, or maybe even just teen. Because there's like very little language in it, and obviously there's no like nudity or anything like that. So there's like violence, that's fine.
No, I was referring to the emotional and psychological aspect of torture that book caused me after finding out what he did. I
was surprised when I was reading it. I was like, goodness gracious. I had no idea.
So that's what I meant. Like, oh my god, that part alone should be for older teens or an adult.
That's
gonna haunt me for the dreams.
All right, so that's my first pick. You're up.
Alrighty, my first pick of the book that I literally just finished reading before we started this was Wolverine: The Ultimate Collection by Greg Rucka. And I was just curious how this little series began, because I read a few volumes beforehand without really reading from the beginning. It's just like I skipped around, I guess, because that's the only stuff they had at the library. But it said free on Comixology, so I was like, oh hey, I could finally read the entirety of it instead of just jumping back and forth. And it's pretty. Again, I'm not a big Wolverine fan, but I just had to know how it starts. So it's just a generic Wolverine go killing spree, trying to save innocent lives and whatnot. But the first part starts off pretty, to me, it starts off like pretty sad a little, because he meets this girl who, at a diner where he always goes to, and she's his neighbor, and she's writing in a diary of her life, and she calls Wolverine a meanie man, because she gives nicknames to all these people she meets, and she meets him calling him meanie man because he's always, Wolverine, always angry, the short things. But every time she sees him, he's reading a book in the diner where she works at. And so they get to talking somehow, because I think he leaves his book at the diner and she returns it to him. And she tells him, like, that she's writing a book too, but he has to find it. And if he could find it, he'll know what to do next. And I didn't know what that meant at first, because I was like, oh, hey, she's going to be like a little funny. Wolverine uses his new secret mutant power of finding random stuff. But no, no, it was just it was a little a little like heartbreaking, I guess, because a group of guys come in and shoots her down, and they shoot him, which you shoot Wolverine, he's gonna get pissed and he's gonna
Right.
come after you. So he investigates the room, finds the book, and then he goes finds her dad, talks to him, and finding out what's going on. And then from there he goes to another adventure, like another case, I guess, to Mexico, and then from Mexico he goes somewhere else, and then it's like a nice little easy read if you don't mind it picking up slow, kind of,
Hmm.
because I think that's what you have said earlier. That it was just like there wasn't an attention grabber kind of thing.
Yeah, I think, and usually I like Rucka. I like Rucka
Mhm.
probably most of the time, so I probably just need to give it more of a shot. But it's kind of like what you said at the beginning. It just felt like a generic kind of Wolverine
Yeah.
hunts down people. Like I remember reading the beginning with the girl, and I just remember thinking like, oh, Wolverine will probably help this girl, and
Mhm.
like obviously not. She
Yeah.
dies, but he like fulfills her task or whatever. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just didn't really grab me. Not to say it was bad. I
Yeah.
was just like, huh.
Yeah, it has its moments. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I'm not a big Wolverine fan, but it's a good read. Um,
And the complete collections are
uh,
pretty thick, right? I mean, it's a
they
pretty
are, yeah,
thick
like
book.
450 pages, close to.
Yeah.
That's how many this was. So it starts off slow, but it gets to it. Um, Sabretooth pops up, and it's always fun seeing Sabretooth interact with Wolverine because how he like messes with him, and it's a really cool, interesting relationship they have.
Hmm.
But I give it a out of 5 stars. I give it a 4. No,
Oh, that's pretty good.
that's too nice. 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, because the
That's kind
art
of
is
yeah.
good. Yeah,
That's kind of what it
uh,
felt like to me. It
yeah,
felt like a pretty average Wolverine.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
Which
they
I
had
think,
it at a max level, I would probably enjoy it more because
yeah. I think that's maybe where my problem was. Like, I just have high expectations for Rucka, but I was kind of like, it seemed okay, but I
yeah,
was kind of like maybe expecting a little bit more from him. So I was
mhm,
like, didn't really
yeah.
continue. Yeah.
It's not winning any awards from this guy,
Yeah.
just saying. But it's a good read. It's a great if you just want to lounge around, have an afternoon to kill, pick it up. It's free on Comixology, yo. So you don't got to spend a whole lot. It's
With a
nothing.
subscription.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on Marvel Unlimited too, if you have that
Mm.
subscription service. So fun stuff. Yeah.
Alrighty. What is your second thing that you read?
I've been trying to think of which order I want to go in. Um, I'll go with Blade of the Immortal by I'll once again I'm not going to try for the first name, but last name Samura,
I
maybe.
feel like you pick these authors just because you can't pronounce the names, and that's what makes the story good.
Exactly, yeah. So Blade of the Immortal, I've been reading it quick. So I actually read Omnibus 5 and 6 here pretty much back to back. Um, they're made by Dark Horse, over here in the United States. I think Dark Horse is getting tired of printing these omnibus editions because they used to be like 300 pages, and this one is like a fat 800 page. Like
What?
I was like, dang, I'll take that for $20. Yeah. So Blade of the Immortal, I said I would give rating disclosures. So Dark Horse does not rate it. And usually I think they'll put like a mature thing.
Explicit. Yeah.
Yeah, if it is. So Blade of the Immortal is like, I guess, as close to that rating without getting it. Like it's
It's like tutoring, huh?
yeah, it's extremely violent. Lots of language. lots of F-bombs for your kids.
Yeah.
It's because, and I guess I should talk about what it's about, but I'll finish this first. So lots of violence, lots of language. Not that it's good, but there is sexual violence, there's rape. So keep that in mind before you start reading it. The rape scenes aren't shown, so I guess that is
So it's implied. Okay.
it's implied, yeah.
Right.
But what's keeping it from that mature rating, I think, is that there's no shown nudity. So I guess there's that. But if you don't like lots of blood and gore and violence, also some pretty graphic torture scenes. I will say that there's pretty graphic torture. Anyways, now onto the story. After my disclosure, so Blade of the Immortal. Basically, there is this group of warriors that have kind of come together, who see the different sword schools, the dojos, as in Japan, as being lazy. They're not really competent fighters, so they go around just destroying these schools, these sword masters, and obviously they make some enemies. So the main character, her name is Rin. Her father was a sword master who gets killed by this group, and that's not a spoiler. That's like on the back of the book. So she's obviously a little upset. So she vows to kill the leader of the group, who actually was on my favorite villains list last week, Anatsu. And to help her, she hires this other guy named Manji. Now, this is where the immortal part comes in. Manji, if I remember correctly, he was a samurai for a lord, and he carried out lots of executions for this lord. But it turns out the lord is corrupt, so he killed like 100 innocent people under this guy's rule. He then goes in, when he finds out, he kills the ruler, his lord, because he killed innocent people. So he's basically kind of like a witch, some sort of woman, older woman, gives him the ability to heal, kind of like Wolverine, actually. So he can heal from any wound. If his arm gets chopped off, he just has to like hold his arm back on and it will reattach itself. So he has to kill 1,000 evil men to make up for the 100 good men he killed. So he is hired by Rin. He thinks, this seems like a legit thing. I can kill some evil guys, get a little closer to my 1,000 by helping her out. So anyways, that's the beginning of the story. And I'd say if you read the first couple volumes or the first omnibus, give it a little time. It starts off, I'd say, a little rough, the storytelling. Sometimes I remember like I couldn't tell what was a flashback and what wasn't. And I don't know if maybe it was just kind of like the the artist writer kind of learning as they're going. But by this volume, Omnibus 6, it is 10 out of 10. One of my favorite series. Like it's up there now. I'm gonna have to reevaluate my favorite series because it's really quite good. There are tons of good side characters, and they're all so morally gray that they're kind of on. A lot of them are on different sides, and I get like anxious because I'm like, oh no, I like that guy, but they're fighting that guy, but I like both of them, and. So anyways, it's a good series. Expect lots of blood and gore. But yeah, I think you'll get attached to the characters, and that's kind of what I'm there for. I'm there for the characters. So Blade of the Immortal, read it, enjoy it. Also, the omnibus editions, the 7th one comes out in November, and then the final omnibus I think comes out next year, maybe like March or April. So if you want to read the whole series, you can get the individual volumes. It's already done. But if you want to save some money, the omnibus will finish up in sometime next year.
Okay, see, when you should have let off with that. I was like, wait, so 7 volumes, and then you said the final one. I'm like, wait, so is it ending or did it end or what? So now I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
been
all finished already.
yeah, it's been done for
Mhm.
a little bit. It's just Dark Horse is printing these bigger collections,
Mm.
which I think is a way to go because, like I said, that last one is like 800 some pages. So
I don't think that's the biggest book you read though. I think Bone is like the biggest
oh
book
oh
we've
yeah
read. That's like 1,000 pages.
yeah
A great, great read, but still 1,000 pages.
yeah. I need to reread Bone because Bone
I
is
do too.
fantastic.
It's so simple and amazing and funny.
There's a hardcover edition of that complete collection, and it's like $200. Like
What? Are you serious?
yeah, I saw that it existed, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get that for when my paperback finally dies because
Mhm.
it's kind of old. And then I saw how much it was. I was like, nah, I'll stick to the
Yeah,
like
that's a
30.
wise.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a wise move.
because I'm not even sure how. Uh, I don't know. A hardback even holds 1,000
Yeah, I'd
pages.
be, I'd
I'd be
be
worried.
pretty worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, like open it, you hear that. Yeah, no. Yeah.
That's why I think, I mean, as much as I like the deluxe editions because they're oversized and
Mhm.
omnibus, um, I don't know. I feel like the Marvel, those thick trades, like that
Mhm.
Wolverine one, those complete collections, those are kind of a bargain. Like a
Yeah.
lot of page count, and they're not going to like explode
Yeah, that's
reading
true.
at once,
Yeah.
or just read digital.
Digital, you save a bunch of trees, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to save the trees, I mean.
Who cares about trees? I mean, I
Every
guess we should all care about trees.
Yeah, because we live off trees, all right?
Yeah.
We got to have a little disclaimer when you say that. It's like right there, say, the views and expressed are solely by the individual.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so my second thing that I read recently or read is Joker by Brian Azzarello. And for those of you who don't know, this is probably the second best Joker book written,
Oh.
in my opinion. First being the amazing Alan Moore's Killing Joke. This one takes a little more from the appearance of Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight. He has the scars, green, long, what is it, like curly hair?
Mhm.
And it takes all the villains into a much like Christopher Nolan's Batman verse, like everybody's grounded. Killer Croc is a giant African American man. The Penguin's a short, fat man with a beak, still looking like that classic penguin. Edward Nygma's kind of like a gangster hipster with a cane and a crazy, like a riddle tattoo on his belly button.
So this is
Like,
outside of the main universe.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
I did not know that actually.
Yeah, it is outside that. I think it's only set in his kind of universe,
Okay.
considering that he's done Luther and then Batman Noel and then that I think the recent one Damned, Batman Damned.
The Battle Wang.
Yeah, the Battlewing. Um, I like his work. I like his writing. I like the art and all his everything he's done. Batman always looks the same. Like he doesn't really change how the getup looks. Like in the Joker, it's one thing, and when he shows up in the Luther one, it's the same exact
Mm.
bat suit. And and the great part of how he writes this, it's not in the point of view of the Joker or of Batman. It's in the point of view of a one of Joker's flunkies named Johnny Frost, who pronounces when he introduces himself to Joker, he tries to be cool, like Bond, James Bond. He goes, it's Johnny Frost. So Joker goes, oh, Johnny Frost. We're gonna go hit the town, Johnny Frost. Like he always says his name is Johnny, and then Frost. And Harley Quinn makes an appearance, but she's not that ditzy blonde that we all know and love. It's a more quiet, like hired muscle kind of thing take on her. And
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it really is.
I'll
Like,
have
I
to
mean,
check it out.
yes, you do,
I do.
because it Batman doesn't make an appearance until towards the end, kind of thing, and it's not even like a big, bad, amazing entrance. Just like, oh, there's Batman doing what he does, but it's still, even though he's not in it, you can still feel his presence in there because the Joker make references to him all the time, like, oh, he's out there, he's doing this, he's doing that, like, oh, I'll do your dirty work for you, and he's saying all this stuff, and I think it's great how they made the Joker into like they took the joking, funny, chaotic side of Cesar Ramon's '66 Batman, the gangster side of the Jack Nicholson Joker and the '89 Batman, and then the appearance of the 2008 Heath Ledger Joker in The Dark Knight. Like they just threw all of them into this one character, and it matches perfectly because you could see, like, to me, like I could tell, like, oh, hey, he could have existed in with Michael Keaton, or like he's more Christian Bale, or like, oh, I could see him there with Adam West. It's a great storytelling, and how he goes about his day just being the Joker through the eyes of a flunky kind of guy who's trying to be big, who kind of envies the Joker to a point. Like, that's the kind of power I want. I want to be able to scare people and they still respect me enough to do that. And there's a pretty dark scene in there that I didn't think I'd ever see, but still pretty awesome because it's what he does. Like, like out of everything, I might as well just spoiler alert.
Oh no, but I haven't read it.
Okay, you're right. I'll
Usually
save
I'm
it.
all for the spoiler,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, but it's like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, out of all the dark and twisted things Joker's ever done, this is probably one of the top psychotic, crazy things. Like, he's not all there.
Wow, hyped
Yeah,
up. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to read this. Is it on
yeah.
Hoopla?
I am
Continue.
not
Let me
sure.
see if it's on Hoopla right now.
Okay. So the big mystery is, though, in the entire book, they always ask him, "How'd you get out of Arkham?" And he just says, "I'm not crazy anymore." So I kind of want to see a sequel where he says, "Hey, this is how the Joker got out of Arkham Asylum. He didn't break out. They let him out through the front gates." And who knows if we'll see that, because a bunch of his stuff, I feel like they're just like in the same universe connected, but just like one hit story after another hit story with no sequels in sight. But it's a tremendous read. I recommend it. The art alone is phenomenal. The
I just borrowed it
oh,
on
did you?
Hoopla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. You're in. I mean, it blew my mind the first time I read it. It still blows my mind reading it now, because I bought it like in 2009,
Ah,
2010.
very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so does Brian Azzarello, is it kind of one universe type thing? Like, is Damned in the same universe, or
I haven't read Dan, but I really hope it is,
yeah, that'd be
because
pretty cool.
that'd be amazing.
I think I really like when they kind of give writers freedom to kind of
Hmm.
do out of continuity thing. Like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited to read John Murphy's White Knight. I'm pretty sure that comes out. The paperback comes out
Hmm.
pretty soon. So I know he's going to do like a White Knight 2 or something. But I'm all for it because
Yeah.
I not that the incontinuity stuff is bad, but sometimes it's like
It
give
misses
people
the mark.
give people like the creative freedom, just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check
Yeah.
out. Well, I am. I just got on
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah, that and the White Knight. I read the first issue of it, and it was really amazing.
I
It
love his
it
art.
blew my mind. Yeah.
Even if the art is bad, or I'm sorry, even if the story is not the greatest, like I'm still
hmm
gonna like look at it.
That art. Yeah. It's really really
And
intense so
I think
far.
I think his follow up is gonna be on the DC Black Label.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I think he's gonna have more freedom to do more of
Go
what
darker. Yeah.
more of what he wants. So that's kind of exciting. I
Yeah.
I don't know if the Batman Damned. I mean, I'm sure it's a good story. I'll read it too, but I feel kind of bad that everyone was only talking about
The Wang, the
the
Battle
wing.
Wang.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I
I don't
mean,
know because I feel like he probably wrote that story and he's like, I really hope everyone likes it, and then
mhm.
everyone all they talk about is like, you know,
Yeah,
Bruce Wayne's
the
package.
Dark Knight. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm hoping to because if I think I read somewhere it's like it's the through the eyes of John Constantine,
yeah.
and he that character alone is hilarious
Mhm.
and funny. Everything Batman's not, which is pretty cool, and I would love to see how he describes a grown man with a bunch of gadgets dressed up as a bat fighting
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 crime.
crime. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would love to see from his perspective how that how he
plays out.
thinks of it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That'll be intense.
because I think I saw that. Sorry, I'm just pausing really long. So the DC Black Label stuff, they're shorter series but longer issues, right? Like that. I think it said Batman Damned 1 of 3, but then I saw it was like 40 pages or something. Like they're
Yeah,
kind of like
because
double issues.
yeah, they're like I think Batman Damned is like 6.99 on
Yeah,
Comixology. So yeah,
looking it up now because I'm curious. Yeah, 6.99.
yeah,
That's pretty pricey for
it is.
single issue, but oh, it's 53 pages. It's not bad.
What?
Yeah. That's
And the
that's
average,
actually I'm kind of tempted now. I'll
yeah.
just go on a Brian Azzarello Batman
Mhm.
thing.
You gotta get, you gotta, you gotta get the little kick, man.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like yeah, once you read it, you'll be like, oh, I want some more. Like Batman Null, I only read during Christmas time because that takes place at Christmas. I'm like, I can't wait. It's
Yeah.
gonna be around there. I gotta read it.
It's like me insisting Watchmen is a Halloween book.
Yeah,
Because like
it
one scene happens on Halloween. I'm like, it's a
yeah,
Halloween story.
it is. I mean, it's like saying the Die Hard movie is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly. All
All
right.
right,
Well, I
that's
will
it for my two. It's
yeah, I'll go
your
on to the
turn.
next one. So next I have the 8th Viz Big edition of
Yeah,
Vagabond by this
yeah.
time I'll say the first name, Takahiko. The last name I will not try.
It's one or the other with you, man. One
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the other.
So my love of Vagabond, I think, is known. Um, so I'm catching up with these Viz Big editions. I'm a little worried. There's only 12 Viz Bigs out, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, hey, Takahiko, um, could you write some more? Maybe draw some more? Because I'm getting worried. I want to know what happens. But for you kiddos out there who don't know what Vagabond is, this one does have explicit content. Although I would say it's not any more violent. In fact, I would probably say Blade Immortal is more violent. It's just Vagabond on occasion has some nudity.
Violence.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it has nudity and like some like sexual
Adult
yeah
situations.
scenes,
Yeah.
which are usually like one panel. I'm like,
Mm.
eh, I guess that's enough to get the adult thing. But
Mm.
honestly, like the violence is. I mean, it's violent, but it's not like I wouldn't say it's grotesque. You know, it's not
Mm.
like crazy. Anywho, Vagabond. It's about the real life samurai Miyamoto Musashi, and he basically just challenges people to sword fights. Like that is the extent of Vagabond. Um, but it's great. For some reason, it's still great. The art is absolutely amazing. And also, you around the fourth or maybe fifth, I think it's the fifth Viz Big edition. So I guess that'd be like volume 15, somewhere around there. You get introduced to Kojiro, um, who is kind of, I think, will eventually be his rival. But Kojiro is one of my favorite characters. I can't say why he's awesome because that's a big spoiler, but he's awesome. And with the eighth volume, it's kind of a slower volume, to be honest. There's all the way back in the very, beginning of the series, Musashi kind of comes to a draw with the younger brother of the Yoshioka sword school. I think his name is like Denshichiro, something like that. And they say a year from now we'll fight again. So, and it's in Kyoto. So this is volume 8 it's been a year from now. The fight is only days away. And all these characters who have been introduced, they're all kind of coming together. So this won't mean anything to people who haven't read it, but Atsu is in Kyoto. Musashi is there. Kojiro is there. And then obviously the Yoshioka school. And and everyone, this person who I hate, Matahachi. I hate Matahachi. I think everyone hates Matahachi.
He's a tool.
Yeah, he's there too. Yippee. But so it's just, I feel like volume 8 is just kind of setting up. It's getting all these people in the same spot. There's a lot of, maybe not a lot, I just felt like a lot, but there's some time spent with Matahachi where it's like, yeah, dude, you're still really annoying. I get it. Like, let's move on. Musashi, though, does go through some growth, and I won't say how that occurs, but I really liked how that was done. So yeah, he matures, I think, in this volume. So definitely still worth reading, but definitely a slower volume. Not a whole lot happened, to be honest, but still a fantastic series. The art is still upsetting. Yeah, upsettingly good. I don't know how he does that. But yeah, read Vagabond if you're of an age where you can look at and understand adult things.
That I'm really excited to read that because I'm still anxious to keep on reading. I'm like, I gotta know what's gonna happen. I gotta know what's gonna happen.
Did you like that picture I sent you?
Yeah.
What have you done to my snowman?
Yeah. It was like, what?
It's so
poor Olaf.
Yeah.
Like, it's this series, guys, is there's some moments in it, like I know it's supposed to be serious, it's supposed to like have a serious tone, but there's some moments in here where I literally busted out laughing.
It's true.
And like, and no real spoilers here. He gets like, he's stuck in a tree. I'm gonna say stuck in a tree so you guys could go read it. And a girl tries to give him a rice ball and she just like jams it in his face, and I just busted out laughing so hard when I read that. I'm like, oh my god. Then she like runs away saying sorry. I'm like, oh god.
It wasn't like necessary to the story at all.
Yeah, it just like
because eventually they get it. They could have just done
Yeah.
that. He's like, no, I want her to miss one time and like hit him.
Yeah. It was just like out of nowhere. I was like, oh my god. Because up to that point, it was like all seriousness, and then that.
Yeah, and I think you have to give Vagabond some time because Musashi it's like I said, it's really the whole series about is his growth as a person, I think. And at the beginning, he's fairly unlikable. He's very violent just for violence sake. I mean, he just wants to be better than everyone. And like I think you see him maturing, and I feel like this volume, it's definitely a turning point. I'm intrigued to see what he does from here. So, Vagabond, good stuff. Also, my second samurai thing I realized. So we're on a samurai theme.
So, I had a question. Who would win in a fight? Vagabond? Sorry, you said his name and it just
Musashi.
Musashi. I like his demon name, but Musashi.
Oh yeah,
Or the Blade of the Immortal. I forgot his name. I don't even know if you said. Yeah.
So if he wasn't immortal, definitely Musashi, because he even talks about Manji just gets destroyed a couple times, and he's like, "Man, I'm getting sloppy. I'm relying too much on my immortality," and it's true. He like just gets messed up. So if it was like a fair fight, no immortality, Manji would be dead like real quick.
Okay, so let's say in his prime, immortal powers, like when he's fighting for the Lord against.
I don't know. He killed 100 men, like 100 soldiers. So not all at once, though. But I mean,
yeah, there you go. I mean,
he did kill 100 men, so he's been around. Musashi hasn't even fought that many people in Vagabond, really. I mean,
he did go on a battle a few times.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The real question is Kojiro versus.
Yeah.
Oh,
that guy is creepy good. All right, so, no, we're not gonna.
This is a very minor spoiler. So, and not for you. You've read it. So
yeah.
If this bothers people, then oh well. I think we've talked about this. I loved it when in Kyoto. I think in the previous volume, like they had whoever the younger brother is in the Yoshioka school. He's like, I challenge Musashi, and there's like that sign. And Kojiro just is like staring at it and smiling like he always does.
Yeah.
He just like puts a handprint on it, like his handprint. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. I got chills. I get chills thinking about that right now. Yeah.
He's just like, man, Kojiro, he's just a happy guy.
Yeah.
He's just a monster, man.
It's just so crazy and intense. Like, man, we got to do a Vagabond episode later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before the season's up.
I'll hook you up with volume 8 so you can.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I gotta start buying these because I'm like, these are really good.
They are really good. They're very worth it.
So my third thing that I read recently was continuing on I read this volume on like a long time, like last year I believe, because a Barnes & Noble guy, I don't know his name, I don't remember which Barnes & Noble, I just know it was here in Arizona, and he saw me buying some comics. He said, "Oh, hey, have you read Goon?" And I was like, "Goon?" He's like, "Yeah, there used to be a TV show and this Goon," and he starts telling me a story of a Goon. I was like, no, I haven't. He's like, "Oh, you gotta go check it out. Check it out." It's written by Eric Powell. The art is really good for the characters that he's doing. And I was like, "Oh, sure, I'll check it out." One day, I just found it in my local comic book store, which was Samurai Comics at the time, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's Goon. That's the guy at Barnes and Nobles wouldn't shut up about. He just kept me there the entire time, and I had other stuff to do at that point." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see if it's worth it." I read volume 1, and I was like, "Oh, it's pretty good." And then I'm not gonna lie, I did like it because it was pretty much a story about a mob enforcer who is running a gang with his little pal Frankie, which I swear kind of looks like and reminds me a lot of the the cousin in Bone. What's his name? The
Oh, phone bone? Or no, phony
no,
bone.
not from the the one who's always getting in trouble.
Phony bone.
Yeah, Phony Bone. That one who the evil schemer. That's who he
Yeah.
reminds me of. He kind of looks like him too. I was like, oh my god, that's what it always does. I guess that's why I guess that's what reminded me the most when I kept telling like, huh, this does look familiar, but it's because Frankie looked like Phony Bone, and so um, a year goes by, and I was like, oh, I should just get, I should start looking for volume two, three, four, get the set to see how it goes, and I kept putting it aside until I rediscovered it on Comixology.
Ah.
Yeah, which is amazing because well, again, it's under if you do the subscription, you get it. You could read free comics for unlimited, depending on which ones they allow you to read. And Goon was one of the titles, so I was like, oh hey, I'll continue reading that. And then I read volume two, volume three, volume four, and I I just started liking this book more and more and more as I read it because it's the most outlandish thing I've read.
That's high
And
praise.
yeah, because it's funny because he's a mob guy. Like he gives you that 1930s feel mob guy with that hat, the strand, the no, not the strand. What's it called? This
Like the
those
over
things. Those,
suspenders.
yes, thank you. The
Yeah.
suspenders, the white shirt, the jeans and boots, and he when he talks, I think of Ron Perlman. I don't know why. Ron Perlman is always like my go-to guy for these gruff, big
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, so I'm like, oh yeah, Ron Perlman, and he has like a scar on his face, and he's he's interesting because there's no love interest with this guy, like at all. Like he's not interested in women. He just wants to get paid, and he protects his little neighborhood that he does. You know how all mobs do. And his little friend Frankie, on the other hand, is just like, oh, look, a woman, who a dame. He's like the stereotypical little guy that's a funny and 1930ish kind of comedy. And they go into these weird and zany adventures without really realizing what they're doing, kind of thing. And and it's so the thing that threw me off completely. Like when I read it, I was like, oh, 1930s, that's cool. And then I saw that there's zombies, just a whole street of zombies, and not like the terrifying zombies, just like comical zombies, just like walking around this whole place. I'm like, oh, zombies? Goon's gonna fight zombies? What? And and then like he meets he meets like a lot of crazy characters. Like there's this big spider in it who's a coward, a metallic man, a a creature of a black lagoon kind of style woman. That that one alone made me laugh a lot. And in one of the volumes, he meets Hellboy. Oh, I'm sorry.
What
Hold on.
crossover?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Let me say that again. He double hockey sticks boy.
H double hockey sticks boy.
Yeah. Yeah. He meets him, and they are so similar to each other that I was like, oh my god, this is probably the single greatest issue I've ever read because they're so alike. It's not even funny, and it ends how like kind of like how Godzilla and King Kong in the film ended. They just go their separate ways afterwards. Like, oh god, it's the best thing that could happen. I did not know I needed this in my life until I read it. And I give it a 5 out of 5 stars
Oh,
because I
wow.
that's how much.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is one of the series I will buy in Comixology, or I'll just buy it from my shelves because it's that great in my opinion. And I'm like, it's so good. The humor, the seriousness, it's not being too serious at the
Mhm.
same time. The artwork is cartoony, but yet some moments give you that uh like I want to say like the Batman animated series feel
Oh, interesting.
to it, yeah. And it all just takes place in one little neighborhood that he just protects.
Hmm. Yeah, honestly, I've only ever heard good things about Goon.
Hmm.
So it's good to hear another good thing about Goon.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll have to check it out. I wonder if that's on Hoopla.
Maybe. I mean, everything's on Hoopla. If
As
it's
I
not
say, a
on
lot.
Hoopla, it's on Comixology. Yeah.
Let's see if I could remember where I found. Oh, there it is. Okay, Goon.
Eric Powell, shout out. You're awesome. I follow you on Facebook, but I feel always nervous to be like, hey, I love Goon because it's such an old series and I feel like a
Is
dweeb.
is the first one Nothing But Misery?
Yes.
The Goon Volume 1?
Yeah.
I'll borrow that too.
Oh, you
Borrowed.
see? Yeah, you're borrowing amazing books right now.
I am.
Except
I am
except
borrowing.
for Wolverine, you could skip that. Don't.
Yeah, I will have to read it.
Yeah.
Would it so you said zombies and such. Would it make a good October Halloween read? Or is it not really that
Hmm.
much?
It's not that much
Okay.
into it. It's just like, oh hey, there's zombies in here, and they do explain why there's
Right.
zombies and everything in there, but I don't want to
Spoil
spoil
it.
anything. Yeah, it's a great read. 5 out of 5. Great art, great writer.
There you go. That's all you can ask for. Well, I was gonna do one more, but I don't know. I feel like three each is good, and I can't remember the guy's name, and it's all the way over there. So I'm good to stop.
Oh my god, it's all the way over there. Like,
All the
okay,
way. It's right. It's too far.
it's too. Yeah, you can't reach it. Okay,
I mean, I could probably reach it.
it's okay.
It's all right.
So y'all heard 3 amazing titles from each of us.
Yeah. Like I feel like we both gave two things that we are very for, and then one thing that we're
Just
like,
like,
yeah, like 20th Century Boys. Maybe when all the perfect editions come out several years from now, I'll be like, it's amazing. But for
yeah.
right now, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know, but it's what I read recently, so
Yeah. Yeah, same with Wolverine. I'm like, it's not great. Pretty sure there's greater Wolverine stories out there. I just haven't came across them yet.
but Vagabond and Blade of the Immortal,
Yeah,
mm,
do it. Check
mm,
them out.
check them out.
Joker and Goon,
I will be
amazing
checking them
stuff.
out
Yeah, you
already.
got them already. Yeah.
Yeah, they're ready to go. So next week is our second creator spotlight. This time we'll be spotlighting Ed Brubaker.
You gotta say it Noirish.
Oh,
Like,
Ed Brubaker,
there you go.
the mastermind behind Criminal, Sleeper,
Fade
Fatal,
out.
Fade Out. Gosh, Killer Be Killed.
Captain America.
Oh yeah, I guess I was only doing
Yeah,
creator own stuff. Yeah,
yeah. No, like
Batman.
this guy
Yeah,
written a bunch. Yeah.
yeah. So that will be fun. It'll basically be us just gushing about Ed Brubaker for an hour or
Yeah.
more. And kind of at the same time gushing about Sean Phillips because
Yeah.
they work
They're like,
together so often. I mean, we'll bring up Sean Phillips because he's amazing, amazing
yeah,
art.
they are the dynamic duo of comic
They
book
are.
writers. They're the
And
perfect team.
speaking of those two, they for Image they just did an original graphic novel I can't remember what it's called, but that'll be coming out soon. But the bigger news, I think, for Brubaker fans is Criminal is returning in 2019. Yeah.
What?
So
Awesome.
that's pretty exciting. And then sometime this month, it may not be the next episode, maybe the last week. So I guess not next episode, not the episode after that.
So 2 weeks.
Yeah. We're going to be doing spooky stories for Halloween. I already have a few picked out that I will talk about. I may have to read some follow-up volumes to be truly prepared, but I'm feeling pretty good about my spooky stories.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure our spooky stories are the same. Like they got a few that are crossing in each other's way. Yeah. So I got to start reading some spookier stories because it's Halloween time.
Exactly. I can't remember. There's a manga called, I think it's Uzumaki, that everyone says is terrifying, and I always go to get it, and it's always like $30. I'm like, I don't want to spend $30 just to say I read something scary. But I might try to find it at the library. But that's
look at Hoopla. Look on Hoopla right now.
That's a good point. Maybe Hoopla has it.
Yeah.
Uzumaki. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to spell that. I'm not even gonna try.
But yeah, that may be a spooky read. It may not, if I can find it. Anywho, stay tuned for that. I don't know what we'll do the week before that, but we'll figure that out. So
yeah. Well, you'll find out next week at our spotlight.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And with our 10th episode, I think we're going to try to get us probably on some other platforms beyond YouTube. So stay tuned for that as well. All right. This is Boyblue and Bigby.
We are signing out. Like, subscribe, share. Come on, guys. Spread the love.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Thank you.